Hi, I'm Amanda.
And I'm Trevin.
We're the hosts of Seriously Sinister, a true petty crime podcast.
The show that asks, is that a murder weapon in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?
We're bringing something new and different to the true crime genre.
Each week, we both tell a true petty crime story with high drama and movie-like sound production.
Also, get to know us with our weekly dreadful dilemmas and killer facts.
Here's a sample of 2 of our true petty crime stories. Enjoy.
As I lay on the floor crying, my vision started to become more clear, and my perpetrator came into focus. A familiar ornery laugh emerged from the man as I recognized his smile. It was my husband.
I quickly ripped open the paper and turned to the 3rd page. Earlier in the week, another call had come in. This time a woman had answered the door and got an eye full of mystery fist. The call description...
We hope you all enjoyed listening along and aren't too scared to subscribe to our show.
You can find our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
This episode is brought to you by the Slash and Cast Podcast Network. Learn more at slashandcast.net.
Welcome to Reverie True Crime. I'm your host, Paige, and today's episode is about Amanda, Rebecca, and Vivian Pierce. A family of women trapped in turbulent relationships. Domestic violence took their lives, and the man, allegedly, behind Amanda's death has never served the time. I personally feel like this case is a major injustice and needs to be reinvestigated thoroughly by the Sherman Police Department in Grayson County, Texas. All of you listening can help get Amanda's case possibly reopened and reinvestigated. Here are the numbers that you can call. Texas State Attorney General Ken Paxton, 512-463-2100 is the main switchboard, and the crime victim staff is 800-983-9933 or 512-936-1200. Texas House Representative Reggie Smith, 512-463-0297. Honorable Pat Fallon, 903-820-5170. Grayson County District Attorney Brett Smith, 903-813-4361. And or Grayson County Police Department, 903-813-4200. I'll also have these numbers and emails in the show notes so you can help put the pressure on to get Amanda's case reopened and reinvestigated. In this episode, I also want to touch on the murders of Amanda and Kimberly's sister, Vivian, and their mother, Rebecca. I want to thank Kimberly Mullins, the sister of Amanda and Vivian, daughter of Rebecca, for sending me all the information on Amanda's case. You are a fighter and a great advocate for your sisters and your mother. I know they are all so proud of you and all you have done to spread awareness about domestic violence and their stories, keeping their names alive. Without further ado, let's get into this story about what happened to Amanda Pierce and the 2 murders prior. It all started in 2009 in Oklahoma. Vivian Pierce was 28 years old and her mom, Rebecca, was 56. Vivian was a mother of 2, a son who was 5 and a daughter who was 4. She loved her children and would have done anything in the world for them. Her world revolved around her children and she was extremely devoted to them. The Pierce family was very tight-knit. They would get together and have girl talks, sharing what was going on in their lives. There wasn't much that this family of close women didn't know about each other. Vivian was dating a man named Damon Butler in 2009, and they were living together as a happy family. At least, that was portrayed from the outside looking in. If you were to hang out with Vivian and Damon, he seemed like he was very easygoing. Vivian was said to be one of the nicest and most caring people in their town. However, the community did not know what a dark situation she was going through in the privacy of her home. People suspected that they may have had minor problems in their relationship, like any relationship does, but it was much more troublesome than anyone could imagine. Vivian was supposed to exchange shifts with another waitress, but she didn't show up for work that day in January. Her co-worker found out that Vivian had not even picked up her kids from her sister's house. Immediately, something felt off. This was not like Vivian at all. A few people went to see what was going on. They went to Vivian's house to see if she was there. When they walked in, what they saw was devastating. Vivian and Rebecca were both dead. Both had been stabbed multiple times and beaten to death. It was clear as day what had happened to them, and even the medical examiner ruled their deaths homicides. As many times as they were stabbed, and the significant amount of blood loss that they suffered, that is not what caused their deaths. It was the blunt force trauma to their heads and neck. This homicide was ruthless, and it was personal. As mentioned, Vivian and Damon had been living together, even though their relationship was falling apart at the seams, and Vivian was not being treated well at all. She had planned on leaving that relationship. Damon didn't have a history of violence, but he started to drink heavily and do drugs. He was sinking deeper into his struggle with addiction and had a mean and violent temperament towards Vivian. Kimberly said that Damon was becoming very controlling and possessive of Vivian, almost to the point of being a complete stalker. He acted as if Vivian was his possession. A few days after Vivian and Rebecca's horrendous murders, Damon Butler was taken into custody and charged with 2 counts of murder in the first degree. The day of the murder, Vivian was planning on making her way out of this volatile relationship. She had been packing her bags and getting everything situated to leave Damon. That particular day, Damon unfortunately got off work early and came home to see that she was actually going to leave. She wasn't bluffing, and this sent him into a downward spiral into madness. Damon began to beat her and stab her until she was lifeless. Vivian's mother, Rebecca, had gotten curious about why she had not heard from her daughter. Damon told her that Vivian left on foot and asked Rebecca if they could get into her truck and ride around to search for her. Of course, Rebecca obliged. They looked around for a while, and of course there was no sign of Vivian anywhere, so they went back to the home. As Damon got Rebecca to go inside, he beat her and stabbed her to death, just as he did to Vivian. Damon decided to flee, attempting not to be found. When he was finally arrested, he had blood all over his clothes and a cut on his finger. He made up a huge lie that he did not have anything to do with their murders, but he said that someone forced him to watch as they brutally killed them both right in front of him. In the end, there was too much evidence against Damon, and he could no longer deny it. He finally admitted what all he had done. Kimberly wanted to know why he did it. She asked him why. Why did you brutally end the lives of my mom and sister? Why did you kill someone that you said you loved? Damon responded that he didn't want to lose Vivian. He didn't want her to leave. This is only the beginning of the tragic events that started to take away almost everyone Kimberly Mullins loved. Kimberly and Vivian's other sister, Amanda Pierce, was 32 years old in May of 2015. She was living in Sherman, Texas, and unfortunately, she was also in a very abusive relationship. She had been dating an illegal immigrant for about 3 years, Brayan Espana. He had 2 outstanding warrants for domestic violence at the time. One of the warrants was from him beating Amanda in public in 2014. Amanda and Brayan still stayed together after that. This was not his first time to lash out. Brayan has a history of violent behavior, especially towards his girlfriends. He had charges in September of 2009 for assault causing bodily injury / family violence. The victim of his assault was 27-year-old Emily Chacho. She called 911 saying that Brayan had assaulted her. Officer Carson was sent to the home, and Emily came to the door crying, telling the policeman that she had been with Brayan for 8 months. Emily said that she and Brayan were talking on the phone, and he said he was on his way to the apartment. When he got there, she said she could instantly tell he was intoxicated and incensed. She told him to leave, and he went outside to the balcony, lighting up a cigarette, while Emily went out there to talk to him. He allegedly got in her face and said, "What? You don't think that I won't do it?" She said that he went crazy, kicking the glass balcony door while she was begging him to stop it and leave. Instead of just leaving, he kicked the door and Emily panicked. She splashed her tea in his face. Brayan allegedly grabbed her by the arms and started screaming, and Emily kicked him in the stomach to get him off of her. Brayan finally sat down on the couch beside Emily and started to talk, but she gave him the cold shoulder. This got under his skin. He began kicking her legs, saying, "Hey, I'm talking to you." Brayan sprang up from the couch, grabbing his cell phone, saying, "What? You want to call the police? Well, go ahead," throwing the phone at her, and this is when she made the call to the police. Emily told Officer Carson that she was physically hurting and that she was upset that all of this had taken place. The police report states that Emily had a light red mark on the bridge of her nose and red marks on both of her arms. She told the officer that the marks were from Brayan grabbing her and headbutting her. Brayan told the officer that he never hit Emily and only talked to her, saying that he was holding her because she was angry, and he wanted to know why. He said Emily slapped him across the face while she was holding him for no reason, but he said that the slap was no big deal to him. Of course, Brayan claimed that the headbutt never happened. The officer reported that Brayan did not have any marks on him at all, and he was arrested. A few years later, when he was with Amanda, there was a police report made of assault causing bodily injury. The police report states that on May 25, 2014, Officer Emerson was patrolling when he saw a red 1990 Acura parked on the west side of the road. The car was parked crooked on the road and the doors were open. A white 2010 Chevy was parked in front of the car. At first glance, it looked like these vehicles had collided, so he stopped to see what was happening. When Officer Emerson got out of his vehicle, he saw Brayan by the driver's side window of the Chevy, and his arm was halfway in her window as he jumped up and down, trying to pull it out. When another officer walked up to Brayan, the driver, Amanda, rolled down the window and let Brayan's arm loose. He and Officer Emerson walked towards the police car as Brayan told his accounts of what happened. He said his car, the red Acura, was not running, and Amanda was backing her vehicle up so they could jump-start it. As Amanda was backing up, he said that she struck his car. When Officer Edwards went up to Officer Emerson, he informed him that Amanda had a swollen eye and Brayan had just assaulted her. Officer Emerson walked over to Amanda and saw that she had a cut on her left eyebrow. It was swollen and bleeding. Amanda was crying in pain. He notified dispatch and requested EMS to the location so they could check her out. He also requested a warrant check on Brayan. Officer Emerson was informed that Brayan had an outstanding City of Sherman warrant for no proof of financial responsibility for $300. He then put Brayan in handcuffs and into the back of his patrol vehicle. After the fire department got to the scene and checked out Amanda's injuries, she opted not to go to the hospital and they gave her an ice pack. Officer Emerson read Brayan his rights, but he waived them so he could talk. He was asked about the assault, to which he said he and Amanda lived together and they were engaged. His car had a dead battery and Amanda was backing up so they could jump-start it. As she was backing up, Brayan said that she hit his Acura and kept pushing it into the street with her Chevy. He said that he ran up to her driver's side window, reaching into her vehicle and taking the keys out of the ignition. Afterwards, he headbutted Amanda, causing her eye injury. Amanda started to roll up her window, which is when Brayan's arm got stuck halfway inside. When he was asked why he hit Amanda, his excuse was that so she would stop ramming his car. When Officer Emerson inspected both of the vehicles, there were no dents, scratches, or any damage to either vehicle. The only damage he could see was a mailbox that was knocked over. Amanda was asked for her statement next. She said that she was backing up her Chevy to jumpstart Brayan's Acura. She said Brayan was intoxicated and upset, but she didn't know why he was so upset. Amanda said that he ran up to her driver's side window and started screaming at her that she had hit his car. Amanda said she kept telling him that she didn't hit his car, and he started to punch her in the face. So she rolled up the window to prevent him from continuing to hit her, which is when his arm got caught in the window. Shortly after is when the police showed up. Amanda said that her face was hurting, but that she would be okay. She didn't want to say that she was assaulted or press charges on Brayan. She was wondering how she could get him out of jail. Officer Emerson left to take Brayan to the Grayson County Jail, where the officer signed the return on the Sherman Police Department warrant. Brayan pled guilty to no proof of financial responsibility and was released to the jail staff. All of this suggests that Brayan is very capable of what may have really happened to Amanda Pierce. In mid-May of 2015, the couple had an explosive argument that would start the chain of even more horrible events. The argument turned physical, and Brayan told Amanda that she had to leave, that she had to find somewhere else to live by 7 p.m. May 14th. Amanda later told her friend Amber that Brayan threatened to choke and kill her if she did not get out. Amanda didn't argue with him about it. She wanted to pack her things and go. In fact, she had already been talking to her sister Kimberly about a plan to leave anyway. She was saving money to leave Brayan, and she hid it away, hoping that he wouldn't find it. This was all part of the plan that she had told her sister Kimberly about just a week before this incident. The threat that Brayan allegedly made could have come to fruition and explain what a lot of people suspected actually happened to Amanda. Amanda walked to a nearby neighbor's, named Mrs. Thompson, at 5:20 that afternoon and called up her friend Amber and told her what she needed to do. She also asked Amber a favor. She needed someone to pick her up and desperately needed a place to stay. Amanda talked to her sister Kimberly that day as well, when she was looking for Amber's phone number, and when she told Kimberly she found it, she also told her sister that she would call later because she wanted to talk to her son Jordan, who was living with Kimberly at the time. After Amanda talked to Amber and they made arrangements, Amanda was going to call her back and let her know whether it was okay with Brayan if she had to wait until the morning to be picked up. The neighbor, Mrs. Thompson, heard the conversation and proceeded to ask Amanda about the bruise that she saw on her chest. Amanda's shirt was cut low enough where Mrs. Thompson could see an awful bruise. Amanda told her it was a Mother's Day gift from Brayan, a few blows to the chest. This comes up later as well, so let's stick a pin in the fact that she already had the bruise when she was at Mrs. Thompson's. Brayan clocked out of work at 5:19 p.m. He went to a gas station and drove straight home that evening. Brayan first told police that he got home at 6 and his work was only 6 miles away. He claimed that he was talking to a neighbor for a few minutes before he went inside. This would have given Brayan an hour with Amanda before he called the police. A very important detail to note is that he would change his story to say he got home at 7. Even a friend of Brayan's named David, who worked with him and lived downstairs, said that Brayan pulled up to the apartment shortly after he did, and David said he was home between 5:30 and 6 that afternoon. What I'm going to play for you now is David's phone interview with law enforcement.
Hello.
Is this David?
Yes.
Hey, David, Detective Jones from Police Department. How are you doing?
Okay.
Good. Hey, I got a couple of questions for you in reference to deal with Amanda the other night. You work at Star Aircraft, right?
Yeah.
Do you and Brayan ride together to work?
No,
Okay. What time did you come home Thursday night?
Let's see. Thursday was I was over in Bonham till 5:30. I must have not got home till about 6 myself, somewhere around 5:36.
5:36. Okay. And what time did Brayan get home?
Shortly after me.
Okay. And did he go into the house or
Yeah.
Okay, he went straight into the house?
As far as I know, he did. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure he did.
He was telling me that y'all might have stood out back and drank and talked for a little bit. Do you remember that?
I mean, we talk all the time. I'm not real. Maybe we did talk that night. I don't really remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you kind of walk me through what happened whenever, how long after you got home that everything happened upstairs?
Okay. Well, I heard him yelling for Amanda, and then I heard a "Oh my God," and then some minutes went on, and probably 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes later, he come running down the stairs, knocked on my door, and said she had hung herself and help him. He needed help. So I went up there, and we were both doing CPR on her, and it wasn't working. And she was dead. And I tried to tried to get this through his head, and I couldn't get it through. And finally, I just grabbed him by the arm, and I pulled him off of her. I said, hey, settle down. There's no pulse. She's not breathing. There's nothing. Her face is cold. Settle down. Okay? Just settle down. And he finally did a little bit of it for a minute, and then I think it dawned on him. And I think it finally hit him that she wasn't coming back.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long after he got home did he call for help?
Well, we were up there giving her CPR for a good, 15, 20 minutes, and it's like I said, the whole time we kept checking, nothing, no pulse, couldn't get no pulse, nothing. Opened up her eyes, and nothing, nothing. The eye was not moving. There was nothing.
Did y'all call 911 after that?
Yeah. He called him, and he handed me his phone, and I talked to him, and then handed his phone back to him.
Okay, so y'all did CPR for about 15 or 20 minutes before you called 911?
It was probably, I would think probably at least 15 minutes. We were doing our best to try and get her, see if we could get her back up. But
okay. Where was she at whenever you went into the apartment?
In the closet.
Okay. And was she still hanging whenever you went inside?
No. He pulled her down. He pulled the cord down with his hands.
Okay. Did you see him do that?
That's what he told me.
Okay. He told you. You didn't see that? She was actually laying on the floor whenever you got there?
Yeah. She was on the floor when I went in there. Yeah.
Okay. Which way were her feet pointing?
Towards the wall. The head was towards the middle of the closet.
Okay.
And kind of sort of at an angle.
Okay.
But the knees were against the wall.
Okay.
And the feet, the bottom of the leg was horizontal with the wall. She had to have dropped to her knees to do that, right? I mean, the rail was the same height as she is, you know what I'm saying, where you hang your clothes on.
Okay.
So she had to drop to her knees to make that work. And that was the position that I saw. All that looked perfectly normal, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And as far as I could tell, she accomplished what she set out to do. We couldn't get her to come back. We couldn't get her to do anything. And,
have you ever known her to do anything like this before?
No, But he did tell me, I heard him say she tried it 5 months ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever witnessed anything going on upstairs, any fighting or anything like that?
Oh, yeah, they have a few arguments now and then.
How about any physical altercations?
Well, I never saw anything. I never saw any of that. No. No, I didn't see a thing. I just heard just verbals and. Yeah.
Okay. What time does Brayan normally get off work at Star Aircraft?
I think he's usually off about 5:30.
Okay.
Or 5, somewhere around 5:30.
Okay. Anything else that you think that I need to know about?
Well, I don't know. It may just be nothing, but I kept hearing thumping noises, like a body hitting the floor up there, or a piece of furniture, heavy furniture hitting the floor up there. Okay. And I asked him about that. He said she falls down a lot.
And was that same day or other days?
No, I was questioning him that the day afterward, on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
I asked him about that because the lady across the street over here said that she had went over there. She called over there and said she needed to get out of here. Brayan had beat her up. She needed to get out of here, and that's what the lady across the street said.
Uh-huh.
That was like at 3 o'clock. And she wanted that lady to help her get to her friends in Oklahoma. And somewhere between that phone call and whenever he got home is when she did it. So that's kind of got me wondering, even if there was some violence going on up there, she started the right thing. She took the right steps. She started calling somebody for help, right?
Mm-hmm.
But why didn't she just stick with that? Why did she resort to going and doing what she did? That's what's got me puzzled. That doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
She was trying to do it the right way. She was calling for help. Now, where did that break down at? I don't understand that. That's kind of funny. That don't make sense to me. She's wanting to get help and then turns around and results to suicide.
Okay.
That's kind of drastic, don't you think?
Could be.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
so these thumping noises you heard on the floor up there that you thought might have been furniture or something, you thought that did happen the day of the suicide?
No.
It happened the days past.
No, that was days before that, and days before that, and days before that. I mean, it's like I said, it's he swore up and down. She just fell down a lot, and I said, "Okay, fine, let's leave it at that."
How long have they lived upstairs?
Oh, they were here long before I came.
Okay, so how long have you lived there?
Oh, about 3 months.
Okay, so over a course of 3 months, you've heard the thumping noises on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Several different times.
Okay.
And there'd be arguing going on too, and I used to, what is that all about? But she'd come down the steps, out the door, around the yard, get in the car, go, come right back with more beer, go right back up the steps, never hear another thing out of them.
Okay. Did you see her the day before y'all found her in the closet? I saw her the day before. She gave me some, what was it? Something she cooked. She cooked something. She gave me half of it. Okay, but
some ham. Yeah.
Not that day though.
No, it wasn't. No, not that day.
Okay.
No, it was the day before.
Okay.
Yeah. She cooked a ham, and she gave me a big old chunk of it. And we used to talk all the time. I thought she was a pretty nice girl. I didn't realize she had that many problems. So, not to do what she did, but apparently she did have some more issues than what she was showing.
Okay. She ever confided in you and talked to you about anything that Brayan was doing to her or anything like that?
No.
Okay.
No. And it was funny today how the lady across the street, when it happened, saying she had bruises all across her chest. Now today she tells me, she just had a bruise on her shoulders, all I saw. I'm like, that's not what you said 2 days ago.
Right.
So I don't know about all this. These girls and the where they get to go, things they do. I don't know. I don't think he did anything to make her do that.
Right.
I don't think so. This was more of built up issues that just overcame her, I guess.
All right, well, Mr. Adams, I appreciate you talking to me. If I need anything else, I may give you a call.
Okay.
I appreciate it, sir. All right, bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
When Brayan got home is when Amanda would have probably been packing her things or attempting to leave. Brayan frantically called the police shortly after he claimed he arrived home. He said Amanda tried to complete suicide. He claimed that he found her in a closet with an iron cord wrapped around her neck. This story would change as well when he would retell it to different people. Officer Sam Boyle and Nick Emmons were the first to get to the apartment. At this time, no CPR or any life-saving measures were being performed. Officer Boyle told the other police on the scene, as well as Detective Jeff Jones, that he knew the Pierce family, and he was aware that Amanda was in a volatile relationship with Brayan, and he knew about his outstanding warrants. Kimberly said that they had contacted Officer Boyle earlier that year about Amanda being terrified to leave the situation and all of their concerns. However, she says that when they called 911, they refused to send a police officer out during a violent assault. Kimberly was already on the way to try and help her sister and was scared to death of what Brayan may do before she arrived. So I want you all to hear some recorded statements that were taken. This first one I'm going to play for you now is the 10-minute recording of Mrs. Thompson's witness statement to the investigator.
Hello?
Miss Thompson?
Yes.
This is Detective Jones with Sherman Police Department. How are you doing?
I am doing pretty good.
Well, good. I came by to see you yesterday, and your husband says you was working. I didn't get a chance to give you a call, but I figured I'd call you today.
Okay. I think you meant the day before yesterday.
Well, no, I actually came by yesterday. And
did you do? Okay.
Yeah.
We left.
But
I don't even know the days I'm on.
Oh,
Anyway.
that's okay. The reason I called, Mr. Mullins, I guess, had talked to you, and he said you might have some additional information for me.
Who talked to me?
Mr. Justin Mullins, or maybe his wife Kim.
Oh, Kimberly. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Kimberly.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, I know Kimberly, I know
Kimberly,
him, but
okay.
not by names per se. And anyway, go ahead.
Well, that's okay. I'm the one investigating the attempted suicide over at the house next door to you, and he said you may have some additional information for me. So I was going to call and see if you could kind of walk me through what you knew about everything, what happened on Thursday, and anything that's happened after that.
Well, I mean, she haven't spoken to me. Amanda has not spoken to me in a while, and Thursday, our son called and said, can we come meet with him at 5:30? And we were getting ready, and the doorbell rang in my home, and I opened, and it's Amanda. And I opened the door and said, hi, and she said, can I use your phone? And I'm like, sure. I mean, come on in. And I gave her my phone. I said, now we're leaving at 5:30, and it was like 5:05 maybe. It was a few minutes, and she took her phone, and she took my phone and went out in my deck over there in front of my house.
Mm-hmm.
And she was she said when she came in and said, can I use my phone? I said, sure. She said, I want to call my friend in Oklahoma. And I said, well, sure, here's the phone, but we need to be out of here by 5:30. And so she went, like I said, outside, and my husband said, she has a bruise over her left side, I think. Let's see. Over behind her, over her breast plate here in top. And so I said, no, I didn't see it. But when I went outside, to kind of, and it was already, we had to go, and she was talking to somebody in the phone, and she had told me that she was going to call her friend in Oklahoma. And so, she gave me the phone, and I said, what's going on with you? What's that? And so she pulled the shirt, and she said, oh, I was a punching bag 2 days ago. And I'm like, whoa. So anyway, she said her friend could not come. Maybe her friend was supposed to come, but she's supposed to be out of there by 7 o'clock. And that's pretty much it. We left, and then, the rest is whatever happened after, when we got home, about 7:30.
Okay. Have you talked to anybody else since then?
Well, the guy downstairs, I don't know his name or whatever. I mean, he has the white car.
Right.
Because when we got in at 7:30, 7:45, they were outside, and so they kind of I asked him across what's going on, and he told me, and I said, whoa. So I talked to the detectives, and then later, I think the next day he told me, he said he had said that he helped bringing her boyfriend, whatever, Ryan, whatever he was, to her. He said he came down and got him. He got home and then came down and got him to get her down. And I asked her, what, it's like, I was shocked. It's like, what happened? And she said, she had hanged herself, blah, blah. And so I said, how do you got her down? He said, well, how did she do it? Because she's a tall girl, and I never seen. He said the rack. The guy said the rack over the clothes rack. And I said, well, I don't know what you're talking about, because I have been in that room, with the other tenants before, the owner of the home, his wife. And so I said, well, I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, he said that she hung herself with a belt. He said it was a belt, and she put the belt over the rack and tied herself and fell on his knees. That's what he said, But again, I wasn't there. I don't know,
right.
But in my mind, I'm like, wait a minute. Amanda was like probably 5'7" or 5'8". She was pretty tall.
Right.
Compared with me. I said, I've been there, and it's like, I don't know, I never seen the rack. So anyway, of course, the guy didn't say anything else, and that's pretty much it. I mean,
okay.
That's pretty much all he said. But, he did say the belt. She wrapped a belt around it and put it around her neck. I don't know. I mean, the way, when he was saying, and I was picturing, it's like I said, I was like, wait a minute.
Right.
She's pretty tall to get, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, again, he's, thinking of how he said, what he said, not how he said it, it's, what he said.
Right.
And that's pretty much it. I mean, and then, I just kind of, okay. I mean, I don't know. All I know is that she was, I saw her, and she told me that she had to be out of there by 7 o'clock, and I heard her calling her friend.
Okay. Have you ever heard any problems over before or anything like that?
Well, I mean, she had said before to me that he had hit her before, and I approached him one time. I went upstairs when they moved in. They were there about 2 months, and I mean, I always like to know who is there, and I know it was a young woman and a guy, and he looked Hispanic, so I always try to kind of, being that we're in a street that is kind of strange for having a lot of people, especially that I don't know. Anyway, I always get to know a lot of the neighbors. And so anyway, I have gone upstairs, and I've seen her with a couple of bruises. But because of, the habits they had of I'm sorry, but they drank a lot. And I kind of one time said, she said that you hit her. She said, well, she falls a lot. But it's like, wait a minute, it's only one bed. It doesn't have any rails. They have a little bitty TV in the corner, and I mean, but he told me that before, so I'm like, no, I know you hit her, I know you do, and you better watch it, because that is, I was telling him, that's wrong, you don't, it's not. So, based on what she told me, he hit her, and he directly, I knew that he did, but I never saw him doing.
Was anybody home at the house whenever y'all left at 5:30?
There was no cars at all.
No cars. Okay.
No cars parked at all.
And what time did y'all get back home?
Like, it was probably, okay, we got there about 4:40, 4:45 to Denison, and then, so we spent 5:45, I'm sorry, 5:45, and we got back probably about 7:40. We were there about 2 hours.
Okay. Well, that's what I needed to know.
I don't know. I was not looking at the clock.
That's all right. I just needed the general time anyway, and you kind of narrowed that down for me.
Yeah, that was it. And she walked, to the only thing different that I noticed, usually they come to the front, to the front of the house where the main, the Lamar Street, that was their door. But she walked through the back door. To the, where the guy that you spoke to, whatever it is, I don't know him either. I don't want to know him, Mr. Blah. But anyway, she walked that way, and she didn't have her car because Brayan never got home, probably until 6:30 every day. So when she got out of work, she walked, because I even stopped a couple of times to pick her up, and she said no, because he had told her probably not to talk to me before. So, because, I was pretty direct, asking questions always, but,
All right, well, thank you very much. I appreciate the information.
Okay,
have a good day.
You too, sir. Thank you.
Now, here is Amanda's friend Amber's statement.
Criminal Investigation Detective Jones.
Yes, this is Amber Brindley.
Hey, Amber, I appreciate you calling me back. You have time to talk to me for a few minutes?
Yes.
Okay. You're aware of what's going on. I just got off the phone with Kim.
I'm at the hospital now.
Okay. Yeah. I understand that you received a phone call on Thursday evening.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Can you tell me about what time you received that phone call and what was said?
Yeah, she called me it was about 5 o'clock, 5:15. She called, and she wanted me to come and get her. And she told me that, I can't think straight right now.
That's okay.
She said that he had put his hands around her neck one too many times. She said she was in trouble. I got a message on my phone, too, from where she called me that day saying that she was in a lot of trouble. She didn't come and get her. And when I talked to her that night, she only said anything. She said she's in trouble. She said that he told her to be out of there before 7 o'clock and that she was going to be getting paid the next day, and that she's tired of it. She couldn't take it no more. She said if he touches me one more time, he's going to kill me. She said he's put his hands around my neck one too many times. She said if he does it again, he's going to kill me. That's what she told me. And I told her, I said, she was supposed to call me back. Yeah. She didn't call me back. I told her, I said, I will come and get you tomorrow. She was waiting on her paycheck from work. And I told her, I said, why don't you wait till tomorrow? She's like, okay, I think I can probably stay the night again. I think it'll be okay. And she was supposed to call me back in a little while because she was using somebody's phone. She's like, man, they want their phone. I got to get off here. I was like, all right, will you call me back? She's like, all right, I'm going to try to find a way to call you back in a little bit. She never did. And I told her, I said, wait for your paycheck tomorrow to come over and you can stay with me, whatever. She's my best. She's been my sister since I was 6 years old for 10 years, and I told her I'd come and get her on Friday after she got her paycheck and everything, because I didn't want to have to Sherman and everything so many times. They live in Durant.
Okay. Where does she work at?
I'm not sure the name of the place she works at.
Did she tell you anything about working? Has she been going to work? Or?
Well, she didn't go to work that day.
Okay.
So it was they got into a fight or something. She didn't go to work.
I'm sorry, she said what?
They had gotten into a fight, I guess it was Thursday morning or something, because she didn't go to work that day.
Okay.
And he kicked her out, and I guess he went to work, and she was trying to get out of there before he got home from work.
Okay. Has she called you before and told you anything?
Like in the past or just recently?
In the past, and especially recently.
Oh, yeah. I hadn't talked to her for 4 months since Thursday. I haven't talked to him for months, but yeah, I've come over here so many times and got her. I mean, packed all of her stuff up. He's hit her so many freaking times. I've seen so many bruises on her, so many bruises.
When did she send you the text message?
What text message?
So when you said you had a text message on your phone?
No, it's not a text. It's a voicemail.
A voicemail, okay.
Yeah.
And when was it sent?
12 o'clock that day.
Okay, what did you say it said?
It said that she was in a lot of trouble and that she needed to come get her. She's like, I can't talk. I don't have a phone, nothing. She said, I'm going to try to call you back in a little bit. That's what the message said. And I think, I don't know if I deleted it or not, but if I can get it to come back up, I hope.
Okay, what number did she call from on that?
I'll have to look in my phone. Hang on a minute.
Sure.
Okay.
Second to last is Amanda's friend Miranda's statement to the investigator.
Criminal Investigation Detective Jones.
Yes, I'm returning your call. My name's Miranda Williams.
Hey, Miranda, how are you?
I'm okay.
Well, I understand. I was talking to Kimberly yesterday, and she said she may have some additional information for me, and she wanted me to call you.
Yes, but hang on just one second and get my child out of here.
Okay.
No, go in there. Oh, come on, I will point. Get in there. Oh, knock him out. I'm serious. Go. What the hell are you doing? Stay in there. Don't come out. I'm sorry, I don't want my daughter here.
I understand.
Well, I know that about 6 months ago we went and picked her up, me and a couple of other friends, and we had to bring the guys with us because he was not letting her out of the house. And she was crying and saying that he's going to kill her, that we needed to get her out of the house now. So
she said this to you over the phone before you ever got there?
Yes.
Okay.
She even said it when we were there.
Okay.
She was scared to death. She was shaking and everything, and we brought my boyfriend and my friend's boyfriend in case he tried to do anything for protection. And we packed her stuff, and he stood there for a little bit. She was just shaking, and he left. And she was telling me that she was scared to death of him, that he had been beating her. And I asked her why she didn't get away, and she said she had nowhere to go. And so I said, what do you do now? So we packed her stuff, and she was just scared, trying to hurry up and everything. She's like, hurry, he's going to be back, he's going to be back. And she said he may have went and got some friends or something, please just hurry. She was scared to death. So we hurried and got her, and he came back out, and he sat in the car, and he just watched us. Well, then later on that night, we, tried to calm her down, so we had some drinks at my house, and she started talking, and she went to the bathroom, and she asked me to come with her, so I went with her, and she said she had bruises all over her body. She even had some on her neck where he'd been choking her out.
What kind
of
bruises?
Bruises all over her body. She had them on her legs, between her legs. She had them between her legs, and I asked her, I said, how did you get those? And she said, I honestly don't know. She said, we were drinking with his friends one night. She said, and I got really drunk. She said, the last thing I remember is I passed out on the bed, and when I woke up, I was hurting so bad, Miranda. She said it was so bad. I had bruises between my legs. It hurt to use the bathroom. She said, and then she said she saw a needle mark in her arm. She said she thought he shot her up with something because it knocked her out completely. And she said that he'd been choking her out, kicking her in the chest, stepping on her chest, then choking her out. And she had some marks on her neck and stuff. And I told her, I said, we need to go to the police. And she's like, no. He told me, he said that he will get his friends. If he can't do it, he will make sure that he will kill me one way or another if he has to hire somebody. And she said that she was scared that she wasn't going back, and but she was just covered in bruises, and she was bawling, and I was crying with her, and I said, I've been in the relationship like you have, and I said, I know how hard it is to leave. but you've got a sister that loves you. And at the time, her and Kim were not talking, and they'd had a fallout because of what she was doing with the alcohol and stuff. And I told her she could stay with me. Well, then she got a really good boyfriend, and he started taking care of her, but then I don't know his name, I just call him the Mexican, started calling her and kept calling her and threatening her that if you don't come back, I'll kill both of y'all. So she went back to him.
When was that?
That was about 6 months ago. And then about a month ago, she called me, and I guess she was here in Durant for a while. She was doing really good. She had a job. She was trying to clean up, and she asked me, she said, I have nowhere else to go. Can I please come there? And, well, I didn't know what to do because, if he's threatening to kill her and I've got 5 kids here, I didn't know. I couldn't put her here.
Right. And
I told her, I said, I'm fighting to keep custody of my daughter right now because I'm sick and my ex is trying to take her from me, and I can't take that chance. Well, then I found out she went back to him.
How long ago was that?
That was about a month ago.
Okay. Who was the boyfriend that she was seeing between him? Do you know the name?
Yeah, it was, his name was Vernon Farrell.
Vernon Farrell?
Uh-huh.
He from Sherman?
No, he's from here in Durant. She stayed here in Durant for, I think, about a couple of months between me and her friend, one of her friends, Amber, and then me. And we couldn't get her to stay. She was just so scared that he was going to do something. And he kept telling her, I won't do nothing. If you come back, it'll get better. And but she did tell me that he would choke her out to the point where she would be unconscious, and then she would wake up and he'd be kicking her, trying to wake her up.
Okay. Can you describe the bruises that were around her neck? What do they look like?
They were red marks with it looked like somebody had, I don't know, you could say take a rope or something and I don't know how to describe it, blood marks.
Where were they at on her neck?
They were around the, let's see, I guess the jugular right there.
Around the front of the neck?
I don't know what that's called. Yes.
Okay.
She's even told me that he stepped on her neck and held her down. And she weighs probably, I don't know, maybe 119, if even that. She's always weighed about that. She's never been a fighter or anything like that. She's always, she's a great person.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Did you ever witness him being violent or anything, or is it everything that she's just told you everything after it's happened?
No, what happened when she was here and she had to go back to him, my boyfriend and her have been friends for a very long time, and he told her, he said, she kept saying, I'm going to go back. He's like, no, you don't have to go back. He's like, I will whoop, and he will never touch you again. And she's like, no. He will cause more trouble. He'll cause more problems. You don't know who he is and all this. And he's like, well, he don't know who I am. And she was just like, no, just take me back. So he took him back, and he went up to the boy and he told him, he's like, I'm telling you right now, if you lay another hand on her or you put another bruise on her, you will not live to see the next day. And the boyfriend pushed my boyfriend, and they started fighting. And he had him in a headlock, and my boyfriend's like a big guy, and he was tough. He said he was a very tough guy.
When did this happen?
This happened about 6 months ago.
Okay. That's when she left that one time, went back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, he started a big, huge fight with him. My daughter was trying to stop him, which I didn't know all that was going to happen. I wouldn't, we were just giving her a ride. But he slammed her head in the door, the boyfriend did. Her boyfriend slammed my daughter's head inside the door because she was trying to stop him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was he looked
Did
like
y'all make a police report
evil.
on that or anything?
No, because she just kept saying, don't do anything. And I know I should have called the cops or something, but she just kept saying, you know, she didn't have anywhere else to go or anything. I wanted to. I'm one of those people that jump in and try to help everybody, and she said, just don't do it. Please don't do it. She was scared what he would do. The retaliation on me and my kids. I mean, she said he's nuts. He's crazy. And she told me, she said, I told her because her sister was murdered by her boyfriend, by her sister's boyfriend and the mother in about 9 years ago. Or no, 6 years ago. And I said, do you want your children to end up like her kids are? Like they cry for them every day? And she said no, and she said I don't, and she started crying. She said I want my kids back. I want to straighten up. I want to, I want to do this. I want to do that. He's even threatened to kill the kids. She's even told me that he's even threatened to kill the kids.
Okay.
That's why they don't live with her.
Right.
Because she was scared of what he would do to those kids, the way he beat her.
Okay. What is your middle name?
Vivian, D''ANN.
A-N. Okay. And what is your home address?
It's 97 Madeline
M-A-D...
M-A-D-E-L-I-N-E.
Drive?
Uh-huh.
What city is that in?
Durant.
Zip code?
74701.
And your birth date?
It's 4/8/1979.
Okay. Do you know her ex-husband, Dustin?
Yes.
Do you happen to have his phone number? Because the number I have for him is not a working number. Oh, never mind. I think Kimberly just emailed me the number. Hang on. Let's see.
Oh, okay. I was going to say Kim would know that.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah.
Let's see here.
But she did tell me, she said, if anything ever happens, you'll know he did it.
Yeah.
That's why she told me. She told me flat out. She said she's scared he was going to kill her.
Right. Okay, well, I'm working on this investigation, trying to get everything together, so I just got your name yesterday, so I figured I'd give you a call and get what your input was and follow up on that. So if you have anything else, feel free to give me a call and let me know. And
there's one more thing, and I will tell you this, honest to God, truth, she would not ever kill herself. She would not ever do what he's trying to make y'all think she did. Never. I know her too well. She would never do that because she loved her kids, and she did not want them to end up like my stepkids.
Okay. Well, like I said, we're still investigating it, and we'll see what we come across. But I need your part to tie everything in with what Kimberly said, so we'll go from there, and I will give you a call if anything else comes up.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Not a problem.
The last recording that I'm going to play for you now is 35 minutes of Brayan's statement. After this recording, we'll wrap up part 1, and in a few days, you can join me back here for part 2.
How do you spell your last name?
Espana.
How do you spell it?
E-S-P-A-N-A.
E-S-P-A-N-A. And your first name?
B-R-A.
E-R?
B.
B-R?
B-R-A-Y-A-A-N.
B-R-A-Y-A-N.
Mm-hmm. Brayan.
Okay. What's your middle name?
Josue.
Spell that for me.
J-O-S-U-E.
Okay. What's your birth date?
October 28, 87.
Okay. And how long have you lived here?
On this house?
Yes, sir.
Probably, I want to say 7-8 months.
Okay. Have you lived here with Amanda the whole time?
Yeah.
Okay. How long have you and Amanda been together?
I want to say over 3 years.
How long?
Over 3 years.
3 years? Y'all have any children together?
No, sir. I wish we did.
Okay. Where do you work at?
Stars Art Club.
Josue.
Josué.
Okay. And last name is
Espana.
Espana.
España.
What do you do at Star Aircraft?
I'm a shipping and receiving worker in the warehouse department.
Okay. You have a phone number?
Yes, sir.
What is it?
903-487-8689.
86
89.
8689?
Oh my God.
That's okay.
487-8925.
8925.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. What time did you leave the house today?
6:25, 6:30.
This morning?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what time did you come home?
As soon as I found it was, what time I called 911? And they didn't show up, they called him here. Well, it was about 7.
About 7?
55.
Okay. Tell me what happened whenever you came home.
Okay. I will be trying to step by step. Okay, I got work. I stop at the gas station and I'm trying to use the debit card and they decline me. So I'm paying some cash. Take the 75 South Marty Street, making it home. Park the car over there. I walk back door and the guy, my neighbor downstairs, he was outside. He was sitting with the cat on there. And then he stepped up. When he saw me, he stepped up and he was like, hey, I got a doctor appointment, a dentist appointment at Barnum. He said, the doctor spending time with him and finally he don't have his pills because I don't know, the prescription is not ready or whatever. And well, we was talking about how expensive is dentist on here, you know. And he told me, hey, I'm trying to sell some furniture and I said, let's see. So he opened his doors and he told me this couch, which is not a couch just like this one over here. This one is in a recline. They're making a bed too, which I'm telling before, if you're interested in selling some furniture, let me know, because I'm trying to make it back. Me and her, we lost $2 million and we lost everything. So then we come back and trying to make it up again, you know. I told him, if you want any furniture you want to sell, I won't be interested in buy it. So he was showing me the couches and this old school watch or clock, whatever. Then I was talking to him for like, I want to say 5-7 minutes downstairs, and then I walked all the way to over here, and he was talking about the house condition, like there is this kind of dangerous cables hanging and stuff. So I'm making it over here, and he was with me, and I saw Amanda. She's hairdresser, and they haircut dresser, and she's a hairstylist. And then she got these soap boxes where she put the whole things in there, you know. And I saw her back downstairs, on here on the couch. And I'm like, I didn't say anything, you know. I'm just like, oh, she probably forget on here. But she's not working with hairstylists no more, so I'm like, what is this stuff doing here? But anyway, I'm trying to make it upstairs, and they were still talking to me. So I went to my room, and usually when I get home, she already cleaned the room, you know. She got the bed done, everything done. But I'm open the door, And I saw the whole room like same like as living this morning. And usually, I come home and stay like this, or just take my shirt out if it's hot, go to the terrible place to do that, and put my t-shirt on there, but because she already cleaned it up. And then like, hey, how are you day, whatever, like boyfriend and girlfriend. Then we always doing like, hey, let's go for some food. We don't have stuff to cook, always find some food downstairs in a big grocery store. And then she always like, hey, I drive, I'll go and pick it up. We both drink all the time, have some beers. She tried to do this before, and it was almost kind of the same case. This morning I would get up to go work. But last night we was talking about her. She went out having a tattoo on her arm, and a cross with her sister initials, her brother initials, her mama and dad initials wrong, which they already passed. And I say, well, you know what? I just paid the rent on this check, so let's wait till my next check and I pay for it. And then we was talking and playing cards. No, last night we don't play cards. We was talking and drinking the beer. We watching this TV show and Channel 48, I don't remember the name right now, The Ultimate Fight. And she passed out on the couch. I wake her up. I thought, hey, you know what, let's go to bed. And she went to the bed with me. Then she wake up, and I was already sleeping. I'm kind of heavy-headed to sleep. And she was next to me. Absolutely, she always sleep by the wall. You see the bed. I'm asleep on the side, and I got my white plastic table, put myself on my alarm. And she wake up, I don't know what time, but I wake up about 4 something in the morning, and I saw her sleeping on the couch. It wasn't 4, it was a little 4, but I'm like, hey Amanda, let's go to bed. She's like, no, I want to stay here. And she's still there, and I don't want to bother her, let's go. And 5 o'clock is my first alarm. And second alarm came 6 to 5:35, and 6 o'clock is the last one. I wake up and I'm like, hey, wake up, we need to go work. And then she was like, I don't feel like I want to go work. I'm like, Mama, let's go. We need some money. We need to buy some money. And I told her, you want your tattoo, so we will need some money for it. She was like, oh no, I don't feel like I want to go work. It's gonna be a raining day, and I don't have no car, I have to walk, and I'm gonna stay home. And I'm like, okay. So I was fixing to leave, and she was like, hey, come on here. And I went to go over there, she was like, give me a kiss. I give her a kiss. She gave me a hug. She don't kiss me, but she gave me a hug. And then she said, well, you have a great day, and you know how it is. And then I woke out, and she screamed my name a couple of times, and I come back and I go, what happened? Hey, you got anything for lunch? I said, I will give you some. I'll give something to eat. She was like, okay, all right, Mama, you have a great day. And then she stayed home. I went to work, a regular day I do. I went to pay my bill, my phone bill today. Took some more far away. I'm on my lunch break. Come back to work. Me and my co-workers was having a good day. We done. And I stopped by Lowe's. I was looking for some, like, I don't know how you call that white stuff. And I was like, man, I don't want to do it. So I'm just stopping there and probably tomorrow. I'm just making it home back. Making it home and then coming over, talking to him. Like I say, we spent some time talking. And So I walk in and I'm finding her alone. And I was like, hey, Amanda. Hey, Amanda. Amanda. So I went to the bathroom. I thought she was in the bathroom. And I'm up in the shower curtain, and she wasn't in there. And I walked to the closet. You know, when you walk to the closet, you see how it is. It's like clothes on here, clothes on here. And I don't see nothing. And I'm like, so I'm opening the door, again, the front door, and I'm like, she's sad. And then I saw this kind of weird pack of cigarettes, which we smoke Marlboro Special Blend Lights. And I find some Carnival Reds on there. And I'm like, did she was smoking this stuff? I don't know. I don't pay attention. So I walked to the closet to take my shirt out. And that's when I saw her feet. You know, she was like hiding behind the clothes. And I saw her feet. And I'm like, I don't even thinking she was on that situation right there. So I'm like, hey babe, what you doing on there? So I came around her neck and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's not real. So first thing I know, what happened? Yeah. Oh.
Their dog remained not sleeping inside? Oh, okay.
So first thing I know, the first thing I do came to my mind, like, I don't want to go looking for something to cut it. I just pull it down and I grab my arm over her head, let her down, and I start pushing her neck. The chest. And then I was pushing her, and when she fell down, she moved the fingers a little bit, and then she moved the arm. Not like you do it normally, but she did. And I'm like, oh my God, yeah, she's still here. So I start blowing air on her mouth, like, and I start pushing chest, and open her eyes. I saw her eyes close, and I might hit the floor a couple times because the neighbor is downstairs. I need some help, and I'm just hit the floor, and I'm screaming for help. I go downstairs, and he hear me, screaming, so he was already in the way to meet me there. So I'm like, man, you need to call the 911. She hung herself. And so I'm running up the stairs again, and I'm still doing this. I thought he'd call, and his phone, I don't know if it works or not, but then he asked me for my cell phone, and I'm like, here it is, call. And then he touched her, and he said, man, it's cold. I'm like, man, don't tell me that, she just moved the arm, and it's in a panic, man. I don't know how you ever, I hope not, but come home and the first thing you find is your girlfriend.
How was she sitting in the closet?
In this position, if you let me throw that.
She's like,
okay,
here's the closet here. Here's the rod.
Okay, here is the clothes.
Mm-hmm.
And here the tube was there, and then she was like this.
Okay, she was down on her knees facing the wall?
Huh?
She was on her knees facing the wall?
Yeah, the end of the wall.
Okay.
The end of this is the end of the wall here. And she was facing to over there, and her mouth, her tongue was like purple, and her mouth was like with a lot of spit on it. So I let her down, and I moved her a little bit with when I was pushing the chest.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to breathe her mouth, and then he coming over, and then we go, and I go back in there and try to do it again. Then he said, you know what, let's get out of here, I'm like, I don't gonna get out of here, man. So I just stayed there, and I was screaming and crying and shook. So he held my hand and he took me out of the room. And now wants to go back, man. You don't know if probably she reacted to something, So I go back to the room, and he just take me out. And he was like, man, this is too much for you. You need to stay over here. told let's wait till the cops showed up. And I like, remember what about it? She gave me a sign, and I was talking to her like, baby, don't do this to me. You don't have to go. We promise love for each other. Don't do it. No.
Has she ever tried anything like this before? Do you have any family members we can call to come over here and stay with you?
She's falling anywhere.
She's younger. Has she ever tried anything like this before? How long ago?
I want to say like 4 or 5 months ago she took some pills.
Were the police called in?
I called her sister back in the day because she did it right before when I get home.
Was they here at the same house?
Yes.
Did they take her to the hospital or anything?
I took her to the hospital, but before
Which hospital did you take her to?
Wilson and Jones.
Okay.
But she don't let me go inside with her. She denied to go inside.
Okay.
Before we leave, I put the toothbrush on her mouth and throw up, and she threw out the whole thing. But I told her sister what she did, and her sister, she told me on the phone, take her to the hospital. And then she was too drunk, and I tell her, you need to talk to your sister. In which she told her sister, and then her sister told me, you know what, take her home, just keep your eyes open on her. I'm still the whole night up looking at her. She never looks like she's getting intoxicated or something. She was intoxicated in alcohol, absolutely.
What's her sister's name?
Kim.
Do you have a phone number for her?
Yes, I do, sir.
What is that number?
I just call her. With permission of him, I call her. This is 913-819-2374.
Did you tell her she went to the hospital?
Oh, yeah. We went to the hospital. We went and
No. Did you tell Kim tonight that she went to the hospital?
No, she didn't pick up the call.
She didn't pick up?
They don't barely answer the calls because her sister has his older son. Her older son, Amanda's son.
How many kids does Amanda have?
Amanda has 2 kids.
How old are they?
Jordan is 12 or 13. And Kendall is about 6 or 7.
Okay. Where are they right now?
Well, I don't know. Jordan's supposed to be on King's house, her sister's house, in Kendall with Dustin, her ex-husband.
What's Dustin's last name?
Mauser.
Mauser?
Yeah. After the divorce, she went a lot depressed.
So she's been depressed ever since the divorce? How long has she been divorced?
Probably 43 years and a half, 4 years now.
What kind of relationship do you and Amanda have?
We are very good friends, besides being a boyfriend and girlfriend. I'm the officer for... We get into a lot, man. We lost everything. Then we were trying to make it again. Then I come, being very honest with him, she cheated on me a couple times. And one time on her birthday, I got a party for her. Me and her son Jordan. Not a big thing, you know, but we want to take her to Dallas in a good restaurant, just have some fun down there. But her friend in Oklahoma, she called and said, you know what, I got a big party for you. So Amanda decides to go over there and decides to stay with us. And she take her son probably with her or probably back home, I don't know. And then she don't come back to me till 3 days after, and she came to pick up her stuff, and I'm like, why do you have to do this? So she leave me. She went through and then she spent, I don't know, probably a month, 2 months in there. And then she was in a bad situation. She was living in this warehouse without lights, water, and without work. And then when she called me and she asked me for $20, and I went after work. I went to Walmart. You know, you can send money Walmart to Walmart for $5. And I'm like, you know what? I want to pay $5. I say, well, I want to spend $5 sending money. I send you 40. I sent her $40, and the next day she called me. She was like, you know what? I appreciate my things I do to you, and you still there for me. I'm like, it doesn't matter if you don't love me no more. I'm always gonna be your friend. And then we promised each other a friendship forever. You know, and yeah, we was in love too. I mean, we are in love. I hope we still here together.
Did y'all ever physically fight?
A couple times we did it. One time by Cleveland Street, she was drunk and she was trying to drive my car, and I'm trying to get the keys out the engine, you know, but she was sitting in the car already. So she backed up the car, and when I turned the engine, you know, the car just stopped. And which she was like fast, and then with my head, I hit her on the side on here and give her a purple eye. And officer coming over, and I went to jail, and I get out. I bond.
How long ago was that?
Probably a year.
Have y'all hit each other recently?
Hit each other recently? No.
That's just that one time?
We went to verbal fights. Like, she likes to say the MF word, and I don't like that word. No, I mean, if it's not necessary, you don't have reasons to say it. And she was calling, trying to call her sons, nobody giving an answer. Then she started calling the people in there, like her brother, her sister, and her ex-husband. These MFs don't want to answer. I'm like, hey, just don't call people names, and they probably want to answer the call. They probably don't want to answer because they know you will be like, hey, MF, why you don't answer? You know? And that's what I told her. I don't know how people can be having fun like that.
How much do you think she drank last night?
Oh, she drank a lot.
What was she drinking?
Who?
What was she drinking?
Beer.
Just beer?
Yeah, she didn't drink beer, nothing.
Take any drugs or anything like that?
Well, I did not drugs my whole life. I can put my hand in the Bible, never do drugs. Even pot. She used to smoke pot after she get on into divorce. When I meet her, she smoked pot. But when she moves with me to my place, I tell her, you know what, I'm here. My friend and I, my roommate, my apartment, Jose, we don't do that stuff. So I told her, you know what, on here, you can drink, you can smoke your cigarette, but don't do anything wrong. And then she never do it.
Does she take any kind of prescription medications or anything?
No, she's supposed to get, well, I can tell you she went to the mental hospital 3 times.
When was the last time?
After the divorce.
After the divorce?
After the divorce. That's why she and her sister don't get longer, because they trying to take the kids away from her. They finally do it. That's her version, you know. I never listen to her sister talking about it. Her version is like.
Did she drink anything today that you know of?
Well, she usually drink. If it's on Sundays, I'm always tell her, you know what, wait till 12. We probably have beers on that, but just think like this. The store get open at 12. I'm always going to do laundry on Sundays. I let her stay home, rest a little bit more, and then...
How about today? She drink today?
I don't know, sir.
Have you had anything to drink today?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
I was drinking a beer when I was talking with this guy.
Did you buy that at the convenience store?
Yeah.
Which convenience store did you go to?
On Bolero and 75 and 82.
Okay.
And
that was after you got off work at Star Aircraft?
Yeah.
Where does Amanda work at?
She works at Royal Case.
At Royal Case?
Yeah, not too long. She been without work for long because she's hairstylist, and she said she hates that stuff. She hated that. So I just like, you know what? If I can afford for both, really probably don't luxury, but if I can do enough for both, just stay home and, you know.
Did she call or text you today at all?
She don't have a phone, but she called me. I don't know from where, but she called me.
What time did she call you?
It was probably 10. And then she say, hey, did you find the $100 bill? I'm like,
did you find what?
$100 bill.
Oh.
Because she got her check yesterday, which we saved her money, you know, her checks, till I run out on the debit card. And she knows I have to pay my cell phone today, and then she give me $100 because I don't have any more in my debit card.
Do you have that number she called you from? Is it in your phone?
I probably did. I think it's the 913-421-8660.
Can I see it?
Yes, sir. 421-8660.
What time was that? At 10:23?
10:31. Hey,
did she leave a note or anything to you?
I don't even know, sir. I just went and I get inside the bed, and the next thing I know...
No voicemails on your phone, anything like that? Okay. All right. Any reason why you think she'd want to harm herself?
Oh my God, man. She was talking about her sister yesterday. Last night when she was talking about she wants to tattoo him.
Mm-hmm.
Her sister Kim, what's her name? She got a sister, man, I know her name, I can't remember right now. Vivian. Her sister Vivian and her mama, they get murdered in Oklahoma. This guy named is Damon, he's a Russian. And he killed her sister with a baseball bat. How long? Oh yeah, no, you don't listen to the whole thing. He killed her, nobody knows the reasons, and that's what she was telling me yesterday. I would like to go to the prison and ask him, why do you do this? Because she had it, she said, okay, Damon, I got a bad feeling. So I called my mama in Oklahoma and say, Mom, can you go and check on Vivian? I just had a bad feeling. Her mama showed up, and this guy did the same thing to her mama.
How long ago was this?
It's not. She says she got a t-shirt on there with the memories. Probably 2009, 2010.
Anything else that you can think that I need to know about?
Anything else?
That you think that would be important to this investigation?
Well, the tattoo she was talking to me, she was saying she wants a tattoo, this arm across with her dad, which he passed out, her mama, which they get murdered, her sister Vivian, she's in the same mother, and her brother, which he died from cancer. And the only sister she got now is Kim. So I told her last night, well, if you want to put the initials of your family, why you don't just write the names, you know? And then we was talking about it, and she just get this decision, say, no, I want to get the initials, and probably the years, you know? Like, Don't use this out how you want it, and wait till my next paycheck and we give it. And that's the last conversation we had last night.
Okay.
And that's you're talking about family murders and this brother died and her parents died. So that probably caused her like depression or something like that. And that's my best escape, and
Man, I'm sorry. What happened? I hope she's going to be okay. I better go check on her.
Well, can you please, sir? I really need to know.
I need to do something real quick before I go. Give me just a second. Just stay here till I go grab a sack. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Radio. Yeah. I don't think you have to worry about that right now. Just let me grab the sack. Okay. That's my head. Yeah. I'll let you know here in a second.
Okay, this is where we will wrap up part 1. Please join me again in a few days for part 2. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. Again, these are the people that you can call to ask for Amanda's case to be reopened and reinvestigated. Texas State Attorney General Ken Paxton. The main switchboard is 512-463-2100. The crime victim staff is 800-983-9933 or 512-936-1200. Texas House Representative Reggie Smith, 512-463-0297. Honorable Pat Fallon, 903-820-5170. Grayson County District Attorney Brett Smith, 903-813-4361. Grayson County Police Department, 903-813-4200. As I said, I will also have these numbers and emails if you would like to email instead of call, if that makes you more comfortable. I'll have all of that in the show notes so you can help put the pressure on to get Amanda's case reopened and reinvestigated. All of us together can help make a big difference. Until next time, stay safe and take care.